Business in the 217 on the WMAY morning news feed. I'm Greg Bishop, and we'll do it live. Michelle Ownbey with the Springfield Business Journal with us to talk about business happenings in and around the area. Michelle, thanks for taking time with us each and every Wednesday for Business in the 217. How you doing out there?
Good morning, Greg. Doing well?
Good to hear. So a lot of things moving and shaking. Of course, we heard a lot of detail about the Floyd's Thirst Parlor expansion last week and even more last night at the Springfield City Council. So that's one big thing that's going to be moving there soon as they approve that TIF financing for that project. And we've talked about that in the past. But you guys have your eyes on another development in the business community. And skipping around here a little bit, Michelle, let's talk about Grab a Java and their plans for expanding.
Yes, yes. Well, the theme for today is expansion. But as you mentioned, Grab a Java, of course, fairly new ownership. Bill and Vicky Legge purchased that business, I think, in 2018, October of 2018. So almost exactly 3 years ago now. And they went through the process of kind of refreshing the stores there on South 6th Street and then the one over at Headley. And they've had expansion plans for a while, but of course, COVID sort of hit the pause button on that, but they are now ready to move forward. They have acquired some land there at the corner of Chatham and Monroe, which of course is also that infamous Starbucks that backs up into traffic. Bill said he's kind of done his own traffic studies
Yeah.
informally, and the average wait time is about 13 minutes at that Starbucks. So
Wow.
he feels pretty confident that he can beat that.
You know,
Um,
when I see long lines for coffee outside of some of these places, I'm kind of blown away. I don't think I would wait 13 minutes
Not that
plus
serious, right?
for coffee. So, yeah, Grab a Java, and every time I've been to Grab a Java, it's in and out quick. So if they can beat that 13-minute wait that he calculated for coffee, they're going to be successful there. So that's a thumbs up for Grab a Java.
Yeah, so Bill says they've got the architectural and engineering studies done. They already own the property. So, basically, once warm weather hits in the spring and the ground thaws, they'll be ready to go as far as new construction. And he said they're also looking to expand into other markets, probably initially down in the Edwardsville, Collinsville area. So, they want this new construction to be sort of the prototype, kind of work the kinks out,
Nice.
if you will, and then be able to replicate that model in some other surrounding areas.
Talking with Michelle Ownbey, publisher of the Springfield Business Journal, here for Business in the 217. Another expansion, or I guess a merger of sorts, in the HVAC space. Tell us about that.
Yeah, Sean Burgess and Son. It's a third generation family business based out of Girard. I've actually worked with Sean quite a bit myself, and great guy. But he has a plumbing and HVAC company that has now merged with MB Heating and Cooling here in Springfield. Talked with Doug Golson, the general manager of MB, and he said that he and Sean have known each other for many years. You know, always respected each other's business, and Sean was at a point that he was feeling a little overwhelmed and, like many people, maybe struggling with staffing and being able to bring more people on board. And MB wanted to expand, so it turned out to be a good fit. And Sean is actually staying on board. He's going to serve as the training coordinator for MB Heating and Cooling, and then his daughter Haley, who is also part of the family business, is going to work in the plumbing division, and the other employees are coming on board as well. They're actually even going to keep the Girard location just as a satellite office. So kind of business as usual as far as that is concerned, but now they're under the MB Heating and Cooling umbrella.
You know, sometimes these types of decisions are hard to make, but it's sometimes no brainer, right? So good to hear on all accounts there that they're staying on board, but expanding to offer those HVAC services. Let's now talk about something we discussed earlier this week on WMAY with Dominic Watson from the Springfield Black Chamber of Commerce, and that's the Springfield Project with other groups looking to offer up a new space for economic opportunity and training and a variety of other things. Tell us about what's going on there in that part of the city that's had a pretty tumultuous recent past.
Right, right. It's that building there at the corner of South Grand and 11th. It was the former beauty supply store. Has been a little notorious lately, as you mentioned. There was actually a shooting that took place there earlier this year. One of those unauthorized pop-up parties we've been seeing a lot of around the city, and a young man was killed and several other people injured. But that property is now under contract, and the Springfield Project is going to purchase it and hopes to turn it into a business incubator. Kind of similar in concept, I would say, to Innovate Springfield, but this is going to target minority entrepreneurs. but the same idea of being able to share space to reduce overhead costs and all that, and offer a lot of networking opportunities, especially for younger folks that are trying to break into the business community. They've got some pretty ambitious plans. This is phase one of a multi phase project, so I know they hope to acquire additional properties down the road as well, but the first step will be to get this one up and running.
Well, I know also talking with Dominic, they had a question about parking, and they will get parking. They said they're looking at the lot there just adjacent to the facility, and we'll see all of that develop over time. So we'll keep an eye on that. Michelle Ownbey, publisher of the Springfield Business Journal. If people want to stay connected with what's going on in the business community, how can they get access to the Springfield Business Journal?
Definitely the best way is to get on our website, springfieldbusinessjournal.com. You can sign up for BizBites, which is our weekly newsletter, and that's free of charge. Comes out every Wednesday afternoon with a roundup of what's happening around town. And of course, you can also subscribe to the print edition and make sure you get that delivered to your home or office.
Michelle Ownbey, we'll talk again next week. Greatly appreciate you taking time with us each and every week for Business in the 217 on WMAY.
Thanks, Greg.